The following is a paid commercial. ABC 9 does not recommend or endorse the use of any product or service mentioned.
The following is a paid promotional announcement for SCULPT SIOUXLAND Incorporated. Welcome! Come and take a tour with us of SCULPT SIOUXLAND. We'll be making some stops along the way. Sioux City's SCULPT SIOUXLAND has been showcasing unique art from regional artists to line our downtown streets for 10 extraordinary years. The SCULPT vision began to take shape with the help of a diligent group of young professionals.
The Sioux City Growth Organization was looking for a signature project within the city, that big kind of unveiling project that would really make the city better for years and years and years to come.
And there's a lot of vacancies downtown, so we're trying to drum through ideas to find out what would attract people downtown and try to beautify downtown.
We had a member talk about sculptures being downtown. It reminded me of a childhood experience when I was in Grand Junction, Colorado with my family. We saw this huge buffalo on the corner and we were so intrigued by it, we all had to stop and get out and look at the buffalo. Well, then we saw another sculpture another block down, and we just ended up finding out it was a sculpture walk. So we walked the whole sculpture. We even stopped in Grand Junction and had lunch that day, which was a detour from our trip to California. So I remembered it when we started talking about it, and it's something that we thought we could bring back here to Sioux City.
Yeah, we sent out the invitations to artists in 2004, the fall of 2004, and the first sculptures were installed in spring of 2005.
With the support of the community and a partnership with the Art Center, SCULPT SIOUXLAND has been able to focus on growing the exhibition in number and in size. The 2014-15 exhibition features 26 pieces of art, 15 from SCULPT SIOUXLAND's permanent collection, and 11 new sculptures. All of the sculptures are located along 4th Street, from the Convention Center to Douglas Street, and on Nebraska and Pierce Streets between 3rd and 4th Streets, as well as on the campus of the Sioux City Art Center.
What public outdoor sculpture does is it not only engages those people who are seeking out the experience, but it also engages people that are just passing by with an experience they didn't expect. It's always interesting to see how people react to public art. And one of the things that's good about this project is we have a lot of different types of public art. Some people may not like one and they can like another one. So if you're driving down the street, all of a sudden you see a sculpture, you might stop and go check it out and see what's going on.
Today, SCULPT SIOUXLAND Incorporated is a private, nonprofit organization of community leaders who are dedicated to engaging and educating the public on the potential of art in public spaces. Working with the support of area businesses, organizations, and individuals, SCULPT SIOUXLAND brings sculptures from throughout the upper Midwest to Sioux City.
The goal of SCULPT SIOUXLAND is to enhance the downtown experience for everybody, for pedestrians, for people that work downtown, for people that might be visiting. And it's just really important to us that we do this exhibit, that it culturally enhances the downtown and can make everybody's experience throughout downtown that much better, whether they're walking or they're driving or they're just going to lunch.
SCULPT SIOUXLAND is one piece of a very complicated puzzle to draw people downtown. We know that a vibrant downtown is key to a healthy city, and anything we can do like SCULPT SIOUXLAND that attracts people to come downtown and actually stay downtown and wander and look at the pieces is really helpful.
To make an impact on the community, that doesn't have to be this huge project that costs millions of dollars. The investment has been small, but the impact has been huge.
People enjoy spending time in areas that have visual interest. Areas with a cultural focus have more restaurants, stores, and other businesses. They also have more foot traffic and stay open later, both factors leading to more money being spent downtown. Areas with public art get more marketing and publicity. Those areas are attractive for advertising agencies to make a commercial or community leaders to hold a press conference, simply because of the visual appeal they hold. The more recognizable an area becomes, the more business it attracts.
When you can give a destination piece to an area, it actually increases the foot traffic. And so our businesses absolutely benefit from that. They get people walking by, seeing the pieces, stopping in for coffee or into a shop. It really enhances the business environment.
Yeah, we love being a sponsor for SCULPT SIOUXLAND. We've been a sponsor for many, many years. Certainly the ability to be able to have a downtown where people can walk around and enjoy the sculptures and enjoy places to eat, grab a drink after work, etc. It just all plays into, I think, a much better downtown than we had 10 or 20 years ago. but more specifically, we've been involved in actually working with some of the sculptures, especially when they use steel. Paul Chelstead did the large dress sculpture many years ago, which is still floating around town, and there's other ones as well. So I think in particular when we get involved, whether it's laser cutting, one of the pieces for somebody, or programming for that laser cutting, or even providing just some steel, I think that provides an extra sense of pride that we have in just doing our own little part. There's a lot of great artists in this area, and it gives them an outlet for public sculptures, and I don't know that there's really a lot of outlets for public sculptures, and so I think that's a real positive thing as well, and something that we like to encourage.
Well, I'm honored to have my sculpture as part of this SCULPT SIOUXLAND exhibit. This is, I believe, the 7th year I've actually participated in this particular exhibit, and actually the first outdoor sculpture competition that I ever was involved with. It was the first year that I applied with my work to show it outdoors. And so that really opened up a lot of doors for me in the sense of not only being able to show in other exhibits as well, but then it helped my work really develop, because I decided through those learning processes of what worked and what didn't, what I needed to do to make my work more archival. The Sioux City Go organization started this like a decade ago, and these are all non-artists, people that are just working professionals in downtown Sioux City. They started this without any background or expertise, and started bringing artists in and learning from the artists and working with the artists, and so it's been a wonderful experience for me to grow with them as they've been developing this program.
One of the great things about the Art Center's involvement with SCULPT SIOUXLAND is, of course, most of what we do is behind our walls. SCULPT SIOUXLAND takes place in such a visible location. So throughout the year, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people are going to be able to see the sculptures, and of course they are also for sale. All this work comes from our region, and it taps into everybody's latent creativity. We're always looking forward to seeing submissions from new artists. There's no application fee, it's a pretty simple format to fill out, and everybody has a chance to be selected. SCULPT SIOUXLAND often buys pieces for its permanent collection, and at the end we have a great party to help auction off their sculptures.
If you are interested in submitting a piece to SCULPT SIOUXLAND, go to sculptsiouxland.org for more information. If you see a piece you can't live without, sculptures on display are available for purchase for your private collection, or you can donate it back to SCULPT SIOUXLAND so it can remain part of the downtown atmosphere.
We host an event at the end of every exhibit, and we call it our celebration. And we're celebrating all of the pieces that have been on display for the last year, as well as the pieces that have just been added to the next year's exhibit. And it's just really a fun party where we get together, we invite the artists, we invite the community to come. The sculptures are for sale, and that's just an added benefit for the artists. We just really want to celebrate all of the artwork and celebrate the exhibit that we had over the last year.
We've purchased several pieces from SCULPT SIOUXLAND. We purchased them because it's a great piece of art, and we get to help a local organization like SCULPT SIOUXLAND. My favorite piece is a piece called Kiss. It's a wood sculpture of a couple sitting on a bench making out. It was one of the first pieces we bought at SCULPT, and we have it sitting on a gazebo that's out away from the house, and it's lit at night. So it kind of sits out there almost as a surprise to guests when they come over. Always generates conversation. One of the great things about supporting SCULPT SIOUXLAND is that they use the dollars that they make to continue to increase the permanent collection downtown. So there's a lot of pieces that will be here for a long time for us to enjoy.
Getting involved with SCULPT SIOUXLAND is easy, and community support is crucial in keeping the exhibit new and interesting for our downtown area.
I choose to volunteer for SCULPT SIOUXLAND because I believe in outdoor public art. Just being able to put art outside is, I believe, a very important component of making your city very unique, and to be able to build a footprint for art in the Midwest.
You know, the biggest thing is that we really want to engage the public to this outdoor art exhibit, and we really feel like it's a really unique thing that we can bring to downtown Sioux City, that people can explore these from their car, from the street, and we just really want people to get out there, to take the tour, to enjoy what we're doing, to appreciate it. You know, we love their support, whether it's just taking the tour, voting for your favorite piece.
SCULPT SIOUXLAND has hosted a number of tours downtown, And for private organizations that call, that want a tour, like the Western Iowa Tech Lifelong Learning Program and the Association for the Blind in Sioux City, where they do that every year, the Association for the Blind, because they want their members to be able to feel and touch the sculptures because they can't see it. And they love doing that every single year, and we get that phone call, and they can't thank us enough for giving them that tour.
People can get involved by contacting the Art Center or going to the Art Center's website, and they can click on the link for SCULPT SIOUXLAND, and it will give all the information, and it will also list all of the past sculptures that we have put on exhibit and the ones that are currently on exhibit.
The future of SCULPT SIOUXLAND looks bright, with a growing presence downtown, thanks to continued support from our sponsors, volunteers, as well as our partnership with the Sioux City Art Center.
The partnership that we have with the Art Center has really allowed SCULPT SIOUXLAND to evolve so much faster than we could have on our own. With the vision that Al, the director of the Art Center, has, along with all of his staff, it increased the scale of the sculptures, the credibility of the artists, the number of entries that we get for our exhibit, the execution of the exhibit. All of this has just gone so much smoother and just has allowed us to grow so much faster than we could have on our own.
Well, the idea was, when we were doing these connections with the campus and the city, was to also have a point of interest. You might go to the Art Center first, then you'd walk the sculpture tour, because that's everybody recognizes the Art Center is where the arts are. So that's a way of getting those people to go and see the rest of what's happening downtown. And one of the new components we've added to the project is identifying an artist that we think would be a good addition to the collection and inviting them to participate. And this began last year, and this is the first of those sculptures that was purchased as the invitational artist. This is Rob Craig. He's an artist from Drake. He teaches at Drake Sculpture, and he lives in Des Moines.
From what started as a few sculptures lining 4th Street, has now expanded over the last decade into a beautiful downtown presence, expanding along 3rd and 4th Streets, as well as the campus of the Sioux City Art Center. Also, the sculptures have become larger in size. Over time, we learned more about the appeal for larger sculptures, so in recent years, we have collected bigger and more unique pieces.
One of the things that we've been encouraging recently is for artists to work bigger and really push their limits in new ways. We've been able to do that, I think, in part because we've brought out the John Henry again, so we have something that's truly massive. We've just installed the Michael Dunbar on the campus of the Art Center, and likewise we're bringing in larger and larger sculptures. So that's becoming a more common thing, so that the artists benefit because they get to showcase even bigger, more creative works, and the public benefits because these things are very visible.
So all of that is just added to the vision that we have for the exhibit to grow, to become more visible from the street, to become something that's going to catch people's eye just a little bit more and just make that much more of an impact.
I'd like to encourage everybody to come down to downtown Sioux City, enjoy the Art Center, and take the sculpture tour. I think it's really a great idea to tell people about this, get more people involved. You can even just drive through downtown. You see most of the sculptures because they're larger now, more highly visible. So please tell your friends about it, invite them to come down to the Art Center to look at SCULPT SIOUXLAND's Sculpture Park, the SCULPT SIOUXLAND exhibition downtown, and how it ties in with the Art Center.
Thank you for watching this informative program about SCULPT SIOUXLAND. We ask that you share this information about SCULPT SIOUXLAND with your friends and visit us on Facebook and at sculptsiouxland.org. See you downtown! The proceeding was a paid promotional announcement for SCULPT SIOUXLAND Incorporated.